Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the tangle Whit by CZT Barbara Duel Johnson. All right, so this is it's an interesting tangle. I love Barbara Duel Johnson's work. Just so neat. And you'll definitely want to take a look at the For More Inspiration link because she shows some extra variations on there. Just really, really neat ideas. All right, so let me show you the base of it. And it will start off with, and let's do it bigger. Oh, you know, wait a minute, because I just had this thought. Let me look at hers again. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, okay. Mine are all right. I was like, I just realized something, and I'll show you what that is. Okay. So starting off with a big V or two lines. Okay. Like so. And then we're going to do a nice C-shaped curve line. But this is, I mean, it seems like usually, and I found myself, I know at least in one place where it was kind of shallow, right? This, we really want it to dip down. Even or not, you know, it's all right. Whatever happens, happens, and it's fine. All right, so like that. And then, did I do this on my, oh yeah, I did. I like to see these lines and then the curve, because then we're going to do the same thing. Come on, pen. This one, I think the tip is a little bit bent, causing me trouble. But you could do this. Actually, I think I just like to draw out the steps that I'm doing for it. Anyway, it helps me. I hope it helps you. And then, so this is what I was doing. I was trying to do the same thing, but I was trying to hit it up here. But really what Barbara does is, and let me get this positioned however my hand wants it to be, but it's more like this. And just having it scoop way down. That's the biggest thing with this one. And what I did, and it looks okay. It looks fine. I don't know. I might redo it. So if you're like, I don't know what she's talking about, it might have been because I redid the step out. All right, and then here and there. You know, and if you ordered that, it could look like a partial web, being that it's October and all of those things are, you know, happening now, right? It just gets in your mind. Okay, so that's the base. And so if you wanted some shading ideas, you could do a couple things. I'm going to do it a little different. Well, no, I'm going to start here. Where everything gathers is where I like to put some graphite, right? And then spread it out just a little bit. But now you know what? Oh, let's just do it this way. So you could decide either side and it would create a different look, you know, like as if one is behind another. But I'm just putting it on. Well, this one's going to go on the inside because there's nothing on the other side of it. Okay, I'm putting it on those spokes, right? And then with the Tortillion, just to kind of back and forth like that. So getting it on both sides. So then it creates, after I do this one, it kind of makes them look rounded. Oh my gosh, yeah, it does. Woo! And you could take this up, you know, with what's left on the Tortillion, up that side, if you wanted to. Just to, you know, to how far it extends. Yeah. Okay, so that's a thought. And you could just have this. This is kind of a new technique from Zentangle. Is called nomads. And so I could see this as a nomad's it's hard to say, nomadic tangle. And that's where you kind of just put them, willy-nilly anywhere around, on your page. A lot of people have done this already. It's just, she just put a name on it. So it's like, oh, like the name. And so tangles like this that are self-contained, but also could be a fragment, it's just neat. So I'm going to put that in that category. But, and I want to show this because I didn't make step outs for this, but one way you can play with this is, I'm going to find the center like this. Oh, and actually I only put this one example, and maybe I'll use one of her other ones because I think they're rather neat. So same idea. We'll start with a larger, right, V shape. And then I'm going to go north. So I'm going to do this like in the round, I like to call it, but centered in this point. And so I'm going to go north, south, and then turn it so I can go north and south again. I'm working to kind of keep a similar width. Okay. Then, and I found, well, at least on my version of the step outs in that last box, because it's a little bit smaller than this, but I kind of ran out of room. So I'm going to do another line. And actually, this is might have been what she did, because it's, wait, let me look. 1, 2, yeah. Oh no, she did. Take a look at the For More Inspiration link. So I just saw it in the round. Oh, okay. So anyway, however you do it, it's going to be cool. That is the beauty of Zentangle. So here's what I did was I put, a line coming in from here. So if I'm just like focusing on this and trying to do this, right? And then working to keep a similar, well, whatever that was, distance. And see, there's really only room for one more. However, you can have this inside, so it kind of works both ways. One thing I just noticed that was my moment was, and I think I'll do what she did, so that way I can show it. Because she just put, a line coming up here, or on one, she put another V shape up on top, and that's just, I really like that one too. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me get these lines in here. Too many options. Let's do them all. No, it will be here all night. I just want to make sure that you get the idea. That was the idea behind the Quickie. All right. So I kind of like doing the lines first, and then we'll come back. And although you could, if you wanted to, do this part on the big ones. I was just thinking, that might have been helpful, just because to avoid the eyeball confusion. Because it's like, oh, so many lines. Okay, so there's that. And then let's do the sides. And kind of just going one step at a time. So this is just one out from the center. And this is an idea if you ever are, if you find a tangle you like and as you're trying to figure it out, or figure out how to do it in the round, something like this, just kind of one step at a time and doing the same thing, and then see what happens. All right. So that looks kind of cool. Okay. So I'm not going to try it right now, but one of her variations is to do a C-shaped curve line on the top of these and make them like orbs. And that's just really, really cool. It's a whole different look. But let's do, because I really liked this one. All right, so you could continue and, put that C shape in there, or you could do something else with this. And I like this. Put an orb on the end. We'll do that for all of them. I love Barb's work, and then my friend Debbie Monero. Both of them are just amazing, very prolific tangle creators, and always have so many options that you can do with it, and provide the ideas on their step outs. That's what I love about both of them. Just really, really neat. And then, so let's see. Yeah, I like that. So one way to, and then you can decorate from this point. And I like this. I'm just going to start with the top. So I'm just going to make it an aura on the longer ones. I don't know if I want to do the other ones yet. And I like how she put orbs in them. And then we'll fill in those little gaps. And again, I like to do things like this so that way I can decide if I like it or not. And then if I want to do it on these other bits, or do I want to do something else? I just see, what direction I get inspired. All right. That looks kind of neat. You know what I think? Let's see. Because there's not many orbs are going to fit there. That does look really cool. Yeah, I think it kind of needs, it needs to continue. I'm not going to get very many orbs in there, but maybe just, one. Could do 1.5 there and have it like so that it aids in the look that these are bent. Yeah, I really should have gotten out my smaller nib. Then I could fit more. Too late now. I like to think about these things, while I'm doing it. It's like, wow. Or after it's already in process. And it's like, no, we can't really change that yet. But yeah, see how that looks a lot better than just leaving those hanging out there. I was thinking just to maybe thicken this line, but yes, like, no, I think it needs all of it. And then if you don't like your orbs, for whatever reason, because mine sometimes get a little sloppy, you can always go and fill it in. So like lines would work on there. Oh, that's just cool. And while we have these sticking out here, these need to be filled in too. But for these, we'll leave a little shine, and how I do that is just like that. Leave a little, put an orb in there wherever you want the shine to be. And fill it in. Now, you can go afterwards and use a white gel pen. Or, bleed proof white in a fine liner. Where is mine? That looks like this. It's bleed proof. It's hard to say. Bleed proof white it's kind of like a paint. It goes on. It leaves a dimension. But it's gonna not also have. It has this little pin type of thing in the cap, and you gotta get it back in there. It's just neat because, like I said, the reason I leave the little shine, if I can, is because that way, if I want to, because you could accentuate that with the white gel pen, but it competes with the black, and sometimes it pulls it in and makes it not as brilliant. The bleed proof white is exactly that. Nothing's going to bleed into it. If you're interested in that, I do have it on my Amazon enabler alert page. It's in the description section. Go below the links to the step outs, find my link tree, and then you have to scroll down a bit, and you'll see that in Amazon Enabler Alert store. And let's see, for sure, it's in the list that says Juicy Tangles. It might also be in Tangling Accessories. I'm not sure where else I put it. I know I put it somewhere else, but we used this for the class that I did on making your tangles look juicy. And so all of that is there if you are interested. Okay, let's do similar. This time I'm not going to put it in the center because by doing all of this, it's going to go in the center anyway. Why double do? I think these little ones on the side are going to end up kind of gray. We'll see. Just because they're so small. Like that. And, all right, let's do my best here on this. Ooh, look at that. There's a little bit of just the natural. It's just a little lighter, so it kind of lends itself, right, to being curved. And you know what? And maybe I'll show you another little extra trick as well. I could get a smaller nibbed Tortillion, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. But it's doing all right. Oops. Helps if we put a little graphite there. Oh, and actually, you know what? Well, I'm just thinking there's two things you could do. One, you could use the colorless blender to make it darker where you want it. But I don't know, that looks kind of 3D. The other thing you could do is if you have a white chalk pencil, let's just see if it works. Sometimes it's not happy over the graphite. Yeah, it's not making any difference, so maybe never mind on that. Let me look at the camp. Yeah, it's not really doing anything. Wasn't sure if I think I was just seeing things. But that's another thought. Or you just leave it as it is and just go, oh, okay. You know what? Actually, since I mentioned the colorless blender, do I have something on? Let's just do this. I'm going right back over that line. This line. So I got some on the outside. See, yeah, that, If it was a little duller, maybe. But I don't know, can you see the difference? I think you can. And this, by the way, this is by Prismacolor. You want something, it's kind of like plasticky or something. And there are colorless blenders that are for like markers. You do not want that. That's not, that would be more for alcohol markers. Well, this is really for colored pencils. Look at the amazingness. It's just so neat on graphite as well. Oh, look at that drama. Oh my goodness. That's cool. I tell you, the shading is just the magic. It never gets old. All right. Well, there we have it. Get those right in there right. Oh, really neat. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. And if you have, please click on the like button. And I'm going to do something, because that's like going, this poor one looks so plain. If you liked it enough to see more, I'm going to put some wispy lines in there. If you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel, if you're not one already. In the description section, I mentioned links to the step outs. And then so look at how much that just looks cool. Mention links to the step outs, and then my link tree. Besides the Enabler Alert store, there are links to all of my social media, my website, so you can follow my blog. You will find also lists of classes and things like that on there. But at least for right now, there are also a couple links where I post classes at. So those two places you can follow me, so you'll see when I post new classes. And then you'll be able to register, see it in your time zone, all of that kind of thing. And then also we have a Tangle Addicts community Facebook group. So if you'd like to join us there, find that link, click it, answer the 4 questions. That is highly important because it kind of, I use it as a filter. And it, from bots and whatnot, they don't seem, they don't seem to answer the questions. But you have to answer all 4. And then as soon as I see it, we'll let you in. And it's a wonderful, wonderful group of people. So supportive. And, and I haven't mentioned this in a while. But, part of the supportiveness is that most everybody understands, especially those that have been with us for some time, that it doesn't matter. It only matters that you have done something. There's a lot of beautiful work on there. And then there's some that, somebody that they don't think is that great. But, they also don't necessarily promote that. Well, and I'll speak to my one friend, and she knows who she is. Well, she has Parkinson's. Well, guess what? Her lines are not necessarily going to be as straight as she wants them. And you know what? We all don't care. What she does is beautiful. And that's just the type of community that we have. It's, we don't criticize. Everybody knows that it's just the act of doing and having fun. And she can tell you that, but just by doing, it improves certain things. And it's just, makes life a little bit better and fun. So anyway, I encourage you to come join us. And when you do, share your work, because we want to gush all over what you have done. And, there's always something we can pick up from each other. And I just love having a community that is like that. So, come and join us. Let's see what else. I think that's it. Oh, well, but if you want to join the Tangle Addicts live, we do that on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Thursdays is free. It's called Tangle Time. And then Tuesdays, those generally have a fee or are exclusive to subscription club members. And that information is also on the link tree. Except for the third Tuesday of every month. That is Tough Tangle Tuesday, where we focus on a little bit tougher tangles. It could be that it's it just has a lot of steps. It could be that it takes a little bit more focus than other tangles. It could be that it's really eyeball confusing, and then, which that kind of takes extra focus as well. Or it's just hard. So I do my best to pick difficult ones that that have earned the right to be there. But sometimes it's the looks harder than it is. And that's always fun too. So, come and join us for that as well. All right. So thank you again so much for watching. Hope to see you online sometime. And I wish you happy tangling.